Deutsche Börse Photography Prize 2008. Let's have a look at the size of it. It's nearly 9, sort of 8 3/4 by 10.5. It's a lovely size. It's nice quality as well. It's got this sort of lovely dust jacket, which is like a transparent sort of sleeve, which has got one of John Davies' photographs on. It looks stunningly beautiful. Pit colliery head and stuff like that. And it goes right in the back. It's a very nice, lovely feel and texture to it. Literally, this book is about 140 pages. It is the shortlisted 4 for the Deutsche Börse. I've been practicing that, and I'm hoping that's right. If it's not, I apologise. The winner, who is accompanying, and that's probably not how you pronounce that either. So the 4 shortlisted, hidden behind this, were John Davies, Jacob Holt, accompanying, and Fazal Sheikh. It's got a gorgeous texture to it as well. You can pick this up. I picked this up for £3 or something like that in an Oxfam bookshop. So it's out there, and I'm sure you can buy it. Some lovely stuff, and I love John Davies' work anyway. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I've got to get this. So let's have a quick through. So here's the sort of list. Sponsors forward, Photographers Gallery forward, John Davies, Jacob Holt, accompanying, Fazal Sheikh. It's interesting how they, I guess when this was out, this maybe wasn't announced. I don't know how the Deutsche Börse works. So maybe these are the four in no particular order, and then the announcement of the winner was done later. Somebody out there might know. I don't. I know it's a very established prize, and I know it's an amazing achievement to have something like this on your CV. So I would have presumed Esco's work would be up there because he won it. So what have we got here? We've got Rito Francione, sponsor forward, Chief Executive Officer of the Deutsche Börse Group. And here is him saying photography has become a major aspect of corporate responsibility within Deutsche Börse. Forward, Brett Rogers, Director of the Photographers Gallery. And John Davies. It's got a beautiful quality to this. It's really nicely published. It's gorgeous. John Davies' work. I think this was shot in the period of the 70s. I think it just shows like it's a sort of a social, economic and industrial landscape, how people in landscape interact with the social and economic factors of it, you know, like high-rise blocks and colliery faces and stuff like that. This is silver gelatine. They're all done on fibre-based prints. It's just beautiful. So this is between 1979 and 2004. So I think that was Stockport. I'm going to bring this down because I want you to enjoy the splendour of the quality of these pictures, right? This is Stockport Viaduct, 1986. Just subtly see the train coming over there. Oh, this is just... I know this shot is so beautiful. I've seen this so many times. I never get tired of looking at this sort of picture. Look, the detail on it is incredible. Can I get further down on this? Look at the detail. You can't. I don't even know if you can appreciate it on here, but it's just monumental. It's beautiful. I would suggest that to 10.8 or 5.4. 10.8, by the way, just thumps you. And that was Salford. And this is site of Easington Colliery in County Down, a very well photographed area. And just showing the remnants, isn't it? It's like leisure park walkway now, isn't it? In terms of the sort of transition from industrial age now to the sort of leisure age. I don't know what the word is, and that there's nothing there now, and all them lives and blood and sweat and deaths and everything what went before that. There's nothing there to sort of show for it, just memories. Incredible. This is in Widnes. You can see the beauty which is beaming out over this LCD I'm looking through. And you can see the sort of industrial train going through a little town, and I think this is in Snowdonia, 1994. Beautiful. What I love about John's work is that it really makes you want to look at it and find out about it and think about it. And this is Harper Hill, Derbyshire, 1985. With stuff like that and the power station shop, it's just, you just want to sit and stare at it, don't you? You want to look at it. And this is in Sheffield. And I think I've been here. I think if this is the same, I think I've been to these lofts with the production of my work. I remember some similarities to the place I went. And these are pigeon lofts, and that's the city of Sheffield down there. This is New Street Station, Birmingham. Look at the intricacy of it. Look at the detail. It's the interaction between industry, commerce, and economic landscape in Birmingham. It's just fantastic. Such beautiful, beautiful shots. Look at that. That was previous shot with Stockport, and this is again gone back to Sheffield, back to Eaton Colliery. Stunning. It's quite a symbolic street pattern for the UK, isn't it? I'm from the north, and this is very common in a lot of towns, and it's sort of it's a symbol of that working man's housing development, isn't it? In near sort of heavy industry. So beautiful. And this next page is Ward's End Cemetery in Sheffield. I think it's Sheffield. Let's just double check. I don't want to get that wrong. Yeah. Yeah, near Hillsborough. And this is a response, which is lovely, to each of the pictures, which I think is gorgeous. It's really lovely that there's they're talking about his British landscapes, and that was by Sarah Hall. Then we move to Jacob Hunt, who I think this series is fantastic. I think this is about his travels as a hitchhiker in the 70s. It's an amazing story, this. He went hitchhiking for 5 years around America, and he shot. This is the result of his 5 years. He went from the general working class population, living in squalor, living in motels, to the upper classes and sort of middle classes. And he's just documented the whole lot. Some of it's quite crude, some of it's really loose reportage. There's a real dreamlike essence about a lot of it. I love his work, actually, Jacob Hunt, and I must maybe get some more look at this, because this period of him hitching is just incredible. A real sort of road movie from the 70s. It's just lovely. I love that picture, especially because it's making you think of hell as well, and it's just so clever. That's a bit loose, and men jumping, students in Miami, spring break, crazy. President Nixon talking, and Baggy feeding her child. This is, I think, it's got to be the 70s. I'm not really sure the date of that. Some drug taking. Look how beautiful, aren't they beautiful? This is 71, Washington, D.C. Doesn't that pose remind you of a Richard Avedon pose of the migrant worker, the farm worker with that belly, the way it was? I'll have to find out. I've got that book. I'll dig it out. This is Sleeping Migrant Workers, Florida. Look at that. It just shows you don't have to have perfectly exposed, well, this is pretty well exposed, but focused pictures to tell a story now. And even this is 1970s. This is very similar to what's going on now with, with the image, no matter how focused it is, or where it's focused, or the colour, or the lighting. It's all about the story, that image, and the way you present it, and what it's trying to say. We'll forget about pure aesthetics. We're making our own aesthetics, and stuff like this tells the story, and it's very strong and poignant, and there's no real need. I've heard people criticise photographers and stuff not being in focus. It just doesn't matter. As long as the pictures are used in a right context to define a narrative and a storyline, it doesn't matter. And that is the beauty of it. That is the beauty of telling stories visually. It's up to the photographer what they want to do and say. But the viewer has to understand, so the photographer's got to be extra clever in what he's trying to say and the way he's got to do it. So it's got to be, if you're going to break the rules, you've got to still stick to some rules of narrative structure. It's for people to appreciate it. Ku Klux Klan. Young guy stealing TV. It's interesting, this juxtaposition, isn't it? You've got I don't know if it's done on purpose, but you've got some black guys nicking a TV, done in a very CCTV way. It's not on focus, very snappy. Maybe they weren't stealing it, maybe he shot this from the car. But it is through a riot, so it possibly is. But then you got the Ku Klux Klan, a bit of a race thing here, a bit of a, I don't know if this is great editing as far as I'm concerned, but, it's thought-provoking. I don't know, but I don't particularly like that stereotype and that stereotype mixing on a page. I'm not really convinced that was the right way to edit this. I might be wrong. Young Republican, guns in the Vicky in Michigan, from the white woman who knows she has still dared to dress to pick up hitchhikers. Something about, I give a very yellowish light, talking about his technique he used with a light bulb to get the light on him. Looking at a family with guns. A bit of naughtiness going on there. I love this shot. Look at that. It's fantastic, isn't it? That's Palm Beach. Leftist millionaire Bill Gandless made me his driver for a few days. I wined and dined with the wealthiest people in the world. Fantastic. Doesn't this just give you some sort of ideas to get out and see the world a little bit? And, 30 years later, we're looking at this. Holy, look at that. Bless her. Hunger in America, 75, Bethel, North Carolina. Wow. Welfare mother in New Jersey. Rent of $59, was eventually evicted. She's now homeless and walking the streets of New York. Wow. Beautiful. I really do love this guy's work. I mean, I'm going to go and find some more of Jacob's work and get it done. This is just such a beautiful shot. When I lived in this couple of North Carolina, I asked if I could take a picture of them in bed. We were a bit shy, but after hitchhiking all over the country and writing them a letter about the beauty of such a picture, they said yes. So I hitchhiked back from California to the tobacco fields of North Carolina and stayed with them again. Oh. And that is lovely. He's shown respect. He hasn't just taken it. He's gone hitchhiking again to North Carolina. And then they've said yeah, and they've been such, and he's gone back from California to North Carolina. Fantastic. There's a bit of a write-up by Caroline Blinder on this. So we've got Esco Manico. I've got back up all that. I think this is a Finnish study of people living on the fringes. I might be wrong. I don't know much about it. It's a series called The Female Pike, 1995, Mexas 99, Organised Freedom 99, 05, Flora and Fauna 02, and Harmony Sisters 05. And I'm not really familiar with his work. There's some interesting positioning of imagery here, some abstract. So there's these look almost, these sort of the animals, which look totally different from the people here, and the sort of abstractness of people living on the edges of a community, maybe. They're nice. It's lovely. But I'm not I'm not a knowledge on his work. Interesting. Got some nice portraits. I like that. There's no text at all. There's no storyline behind it, so I have no idea, and I wouldn't want to even make an educated guess to what some of these are about. I'm quite interested that this won, but I am not the judge, or who am I to even say that? That's gorgeous. Look at that. And like I said, there's no text. These are great portraits, but there's nothing for me to sort of discuss. Just showing you the quality of shot. That's great. Cow's mouth, look at that. That's beautiful. There's some very clever photography here, no doubt. It reminds me a little bit of Alex Soth, a bit square format version of Alex Soth in a way. There's that detail and that sort of medium format quality to it, and it's interesting. It's very abstract, very dreamlike. This is Ireland. Now, I'm wondering if the horse and everything is related to these people who live on the fringes of this area, and there's an abstract way of showing the detail of the horse and the cow. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look up on it, and I don't want to be presumptuous and pretend I know. Fazal Sheikh. Now, Fazal's work's quite interesting. Now we've got back to text here. There's sort of a lot of afterward discussion on his work, or maybe something here would have been great. Fazal does portraits, and it's about these are beautiful little babies. It's about the prejudice against women in India, the stigmas, the taboos, the cultural and religious codes they live under, and it's just sort of, I think there's a lot of identity with identifying certain and raising certain awareness of some of the things, the problems women face living in India. And I guess, I'm flicking through this, there's a scar there, but I'm guessing, it's such a beautiful portrait, but I'm guessing that each of these individuals have a story somewhere. Oh, they're gorgeous portraits. And there's a story here. And I wonder if that's her without the veil, I'm not really sure. And this is about arranged marriages. A lovely end here is like the survival tactics, the work of Fazal Sheikh, Mary Warner Marion. And that's a really interesting essay on his work, which I think deserves it, because I think it may look simple, Fazal's work, but it really brings up really important issues within women's rights in India. Bit of afterward, Bosch Photographers Gallery, who they are, a nice ending. I think there's some quality work in here. I think it's lovely. I think it's all worth buying stuff like this. I saw this, cost me £3. I saw it because I wanted this, and I wanted this, and I've opened my eyes to Esco's and Fazal's work, and that's fantastic. Thank you. I'll see if I can pick some more of these on, and I'll discuss it. Thank you very much.